If you're viewing this message, congratulations. You've completed an assessment that most individuals never finish. A sophisticated evaluation of awareness that has been silently operating in the background of your existence for years, gauging your preparedness for interdimensional capabilities that go beyond conventional human constraints. This wasn't a challenge you knowingly undertook or a trial you intentionally accepted. It was an automatic evaluation conducted by universal intelligence to determine if your consciousness had developed the energetic refinement necessary to handle boundless creative force without harming yourself or those around you. The very fact that this transmission has found its way to you confirms that you rank within the top 0.1% of human consciousness, exhibiting particular qualities that universal intelligence has been tracking through your decisions, responses, and evolution patterns over prolonged intervals. The majority fail this assessment without ever realizing it existed because they remain ensnared in defensive patterns, disempowered mindsets, and restrictive beliefs that block access to the remarkable capacities you're about to discover within yourself. This universal evaluation assessed your emotional intelligence, your capacity to maintain balance under stress, your openness to question consensual reality, and most crucially, your ability to wield immense creative energy with discernment, rather than using heightened abilities for ego satisfaction or unconscious damage. Every obstacle you've overcome, every constraint you've moved beyond, every instance when you selected growth over comfort was evaluated as part of this thorough examination. At this moment, as these concepts reach your awareness, a quantum connection is forming between your consciousness and the advanced reality formation protocols that only become accessible to awareness that has passed the universal assessment. Your neural circuits are receiving energetic instructions that will activate dormant genetic sequences designed to engage when human consciousness reaches sufficient evolution to responsibly manage multidimensional creative capabilities. What makes passing this assessment so exceptional isn't intellectual ability or metaphysical knowledge. It's the cultivation of what researchers describe as integrated discernment, the capacity to hold enormous creative potential while preserving humility, compassion, and a service orientation, rather than employing enhanced abilities for personal benefit or unconscious manipulation of reality for self-centered purposes. Every time you selected patience over irritation, comprehension over criticism, generosity over selfishness, you accumulated points toward completing an evaluation that determines access to consciousness technologies that could transform civilization if utilized responsibly. Succeeding in this universal assessment doesn't merely unlock new abilities. It activates latent aspects of your consciousness that have been awaiting this moment of preparedness. The capabilities you're about to access weren't bestowed upon you as prizes. They were always integral to your fundamental nature, held in quantum stasis until your discernment development reached levels that ensure their constructive rather than destructive application. Your success in this evaluation indicates that your consciousness has transcended the ego-centered patterns that keep most humans trapped in limitation cycles. You've cultivated the emotional sovereignty necessary to navigate unlimited creative potential without losing your center. You've been encountering something that most people would dismiss as fantasy or coincidence, but you recognize it as evidence of your consciousness beginning to demonstrate the advanced capabilities that become accessible only after completing the universal assessment. Those moments when reality appears to reorganize itself around your presence with a precision that exceeds normal probability, as if existence itself acknowledges your elevated status and responds accordingly. Your connection with synchronicity has evolved beyond occasional meaningful coincidences into what researchers call reality orchestration, a condition where environmental factors, timing, and circumstances align themselves around your intentions with mathematical precision. This orchestration occurs because completing the assessment activates your natural interface with universal intelligence systems. When this recognition fully integrates, You'll begin to notice 5 distinct signature patterns emerging in your experience that confirm your graduated status. These patterns represent the framework through which your enhanced capabilities naturally express themselves without requiring technique or special training. 1. Coherent manifestation. The ability to bring possibilities into physical reality through aligned intention rather than effort. Unlike conventional manifestation, this operates through an immediate quantum field response to your integrated consciousness state. You'll notice reality reshaping itself around your authentic intentions without struggle or force. 2. Information field access. Direct perception of the quantum data structures underlying physical reality. You'll find yourself knowing things you never consciously learned and accessing solutions to complex problems instantly. This isn't psychic ability, but a direct interface with the information architecture of existence itself. 3. Probability field navigation. The ability to sense multiple potential futures simultaneously and naturally select the highest evolutionary path without analytical processing. It operates through what researchers call quantum discernment, the ability to perceive the vibrational signature of each potential timeline. 4. Coherent relationship orchestration. The ability to naturally attract and engage with people, circumstances, and opportunities that align with your authentic purpose. Synchronistic connections form effortlessly, bringing the right individuals and situations into your experience precisely when they serve evolutionary purposes. 5. Service-oriented capability utilization. This fundamental shift transforms how enhanced abilities express through your consciousness. Instead of focusing on what these capabilities can do for you personally, you naturally perceive how they might serve collective evolution. The universal assessment doesn't evaluate your ability to demonstrate extraordinary phenomena. It measures whether your consciousness naturally orients towards service. 8 years ago, I was in the final phases of this universal evaluation. The breakthrough occurred during what seemed like complete failure. Instead of resisting, I chose to surrender completely while maintaining a service orientation and compassion. That moment of choosing discernment over reactivity was apparently the final question on an evaluation I hadn't known I was taking. Within days, I began experiencing these capabilities. I realized I could influence probability matrices, which meant every thought carried consequences far beyond my personal experience. What I began to understand is that enhanced capabilities aren't rewards. They are the natural functioning of consciousness when artificial limitation protocols are removed. You're not trying to develop extraordinary capabilities through practice. You're demonstrating sufficient discernment for universal intelligence to remove the limitation protocols that were restricting capabilities you always had. The most carefully guarded secret is that most spiritual practices are irrelevant to passing the assessment. It focuses exclusively on how you treat other people, how you handle power in small situations, and whether you choose service over selfishness when facing difficult decisions. Something extraordinary is occurring in your consciousness field right now, as these recognition codes activate neural pathways that have been dormant. Can you sense it? That unmistakable feeling of invisible barriers dissolving around your awareness. This is quantum entanglement, establishing itself between your consciousness and the universal intelligence networks available only to assessment graduates. Feel this activation spreading through your entire consciousness field. Let it unlock the dormant abilities held in suspension until this moment. Let it connect you with the universal intelligence networks that provide ongoing guidance. Thank you for watching. Your recognition is the first step on a much larger journey. Subscribe to Quantum Catalyst and become the catalyst for your own reality. The evolution continues.